today you're in luck, because today we're doing the dark side of Leo. Everyone knows Leo's the best, right? At least that's what they think. Okay, this video is gonna be super fun for me because I know so many Leos, and I actually have Leo in my own chart, so you can't be offended because I'm talking about myself as well. And it's just so funny. Leos crack me up. So let's get into it. Okay. Leo are possessive. Okay. This is the dark side. We know this. Okay. You can't be offended. So, even though you probably will be. Leo are possessive. They're jealous and possessive because Leo wants to dominate. Leo is a fire sign. Leo represents the sun. Leo represents lions, right? So Leo has to dominate. They are the lion. They're like the king of the jungle. Okay, so if anyone else is eyeballing something they have, fierce. That is a no-no, okay? And they might tell you, oh, I'm not jealous. I don't care. Do whatever you want. They're lying, okay? Deep down. Their insides are twisting with fear, okay? Because suddenly you might not have them as the center of your world anymore. Suddenly someone else might step into the picture. They can't have that, okay? So they will be controlling in these instances, possessive, say things like, that's mine, right? Excuse me, what are you doing? That belongs to me. Okay, so yeah, they see things as belongings, and it's not because they own you or whatever. It's just because Leo have this need to be loved, really deep love. They have to be wanted all the time. It's like they have to be the center of attention because they represent the sun, which is the center of the solar system, right? So they literally think the world revolves around them, like the sun. So it's like, why wouldn't you make me the center of your universe? You know what I mean? So yeah, things belong to them. People belong to them. You're mine. This right here, this is mine. And that's fine. They'd like to take on things as their own, and that can be a good thing. Okay. They have a huge ego. Huge. Their pride is that of a lion. So this makes them extremely stubborn. They will argue with you about anything. They will not listen to your point. They will only listen if it's really super necessary, if there's a really good reason, because they just think they're right even when they're wrong. Okay, they don't like to be challenged. Just think of a lion, okay? And that's a Leo. They don't want to be challenged. Their pride can cause them to hold grudges. That's a thing that they do. And it can keep them from moving forward in relationships or going after that person they really wanted, because if their pride is hurt, they may just say, well, forget you then. And even though maybe they should really be mending that relationship or friendship, their pride may keep them from doing that. Okay, they hate to be criticized. This is another part of the ego. And they don't take it well because they see it as a challenge. Okay, and I'm the dominating role here. I am the control system, the lion. What I say goes. Don't criticize me ever. I'm speaking as a Leo, not for me. They're impatient. because they want their desires, you know, they want what they want and they have to have it right now. And they don't want to wait on anybody else to do it. And this can come out in aggression, irritability, just this stubbornness too of like, well then I'll just do it, you know, because you're taking too long and I need this done now. So if you think of Leos as the regal sign of the zodiac, which they're referred to, royalty, regal, the king or queen of the zodiac, you can understand how they don't want to wait on anyone. They expect things to be done when they want them done. And this can be another way that they come off selfish, arrogant, self-centered. That ego is at play a lot until the lions figure out some kind of balance, mostly in younger years, of course, hopefully. Yeah, they are self-centered. They're gonna put themselves before you. And doesn't mean they don't love you, it doesn't mean they can't love others. It's just that they're gonna protect themselves, make sure they're not in any harm, and so everyone else has to come after them. They're the king or the queen, right? So that's how it should be. I'm the center of the world and the universe. Duh. Just like in the jungle, the lion eats everything first, and then when they've had their fill, then everyone else may feast if there's anything left. But the king or queen, of course, has to get theirs first. They are dominant. They like it their way. They think they're right about everything. And so they're not going to want to let anyone else take control of the situation. This also plays into the fact that they're natural leaders. They want to be the boss. They want to have control. They will automatically, just naturally take control over a situation. Like, no, we're going to do it like this. Like, no one volunteered you. No, like, no one voted for this. But they will just grab a hold of that whole circumstance and just take on that leadership role. No one has to ask. They want the last word in arguments. They will put up a tough argument. So even if they're wrong, there's no point in arguing, because they're either not going to see your point, or if they're more mature, they may agree to disagree. But that's probably not going to happen. So now if you have two Leos in a situation together, no one's backing down. So they really have to come to a point where their love for one another, their friendship for one another means more, and they just say, well, agree to disagree, okay? But that may rarely happen. And because of the pride and ego of both Leos, they may go for a while without speaking to each other. That's just if you're a Leo and you happen to know other Leos. Okay, and keep in mind too, this is about any aspect of Leo in your birth chart. Doesn't just have to be sun sign. We're talking rising, moon, Venus, North Node. Some people have many planets in Leo and don't even know it because maybe their sun sign is Virgo or Cancer or whatever, and they have no idea that there are all these Leo aspects, and this is why. So check out your birth chart, okay? Yes, they like to make decisions, and they may do so without even asking their partner. And this is another way they come off self-centered, because they just assume that they know what's best for everyone based on how they feel. So they won't even ask you if you're in a relationship with a Leo. They may just say, yeah, I took the liberty of blah, 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 or this is what we're gonna do. And they may just not even ask you how you feel about it. You just kind of have to go with the flow when you're involved with a Leo. Because Leo is the sun and everything revolves around them, they only think about their wants, okay, much of the time. They do love others, but most of the time it's going to be what they want first. But all the time. Then after that, then they may try to see it your way. Maybe, if they really love you. Okay, they can be materialistic. Because they like nice things. They like to have nice things. They're the king and queen. They like luxury. They like the finer things in life. They may be cheap in certain aspects, but when it comes to something like they really want to research and make sure it's good quality, that sort of thing that they really want to like invest in, then they're gonna go all out. Especially like gifts for others too. They don't mind spending money on others. It's just about the quality. Like they just want to have nice things. It's the regal aspect of Leo. Okay, they will lie or manipulate to get their way. Because they're the center of attention in their world. So why wouldn't everyone do that and just do whatever they want? They know how to do it. And let me tell you, it's not always through anger and aggression, although it can be. Sometimes they're sulky and passive and pouty and meh. And this is another way that they've learned over time to manipulate others into doing what they want. They can be conceited. Yeah, super conceited. Okay, they may brag on their abilities, their looks, their achievements, even when it may not really be that great. You know, it's like sometimes they just want credit just for nothing. And they feel like everyone needs to give me praise because I'm the best. And it's like, but Leo, you kind of did a mediocre job. You know what I mean? What's really funny about Leo is they will say things like, I'm not trying to be like braggadocious. I don't mean to brag, but like, I don't want to toot my own horn, but it's like, we know what's coming next, Leo. You're definitely about to brag about yourself. So they want the praise all the time. They think very highly of themselves. And they can come off pretentious because of this. And they can become so cocky that it becomes inconsiderate of others' feelings. And it can get uncomfortable. It's kind of gross to witness. Leo, you can come off really vain, right? Like you walked into the party like you were walking onto a yacht. Your hat strategically dipped below one eye. You know it, sing it. Your scarf was apricot, right? And you had one eye in the mirror as you watched yourself go by. And the rest doesn't matter to that verse. Because you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you, Leo. You're so vain, you're so vain. I bet you think this song is about you. Don't you, don't you? Yeah, you do. And chances are that song was about a Leo. I actually did some research, and I know everyone thought Carly Simon wrote that for James Taylor, and James Taylor does happen to have a lot of Leo placements, and that's why I'm bringing this up. But also, Mick Jagger, people thought maybe she wrote it about him. He has a ton of Leo placements. Pluto, Saturn, Mars, tons of placements, okay? But in truth, she said she wrote it about Warren Beatty, and he doesn't have any Leo, but he does have a lot of Aries, which is a fellow fire sign, which proves the vanity here, okay? So watch it. And don't be checking out yourself in the mirror. It's gross, Leo. Sickening. Okay, so they're arrogant. They can be patronizing. Seriously, demanding and mean. And their confidence, I mean, It's when the confidence turns into that braggadocious, give me praise and credit. That's when it's like, that's enough, Leo, right? I know you think you're the king. I know you think you're the lion. I know you think you're the center of everyone's universe, but you're not. They can speak with arrogance, and they don't mean to, but it happens. Okay, and they speak with authority. And this may be that bossiness aspect, like that controlling thing. They want to be the leader. But they will speak with such authority that you will believe them. You'll think they know what they're talking about. And if they're an immature Leo, chances are they don't. Okay, so watch it. Watch out for that with Leo. They can speak in a false, kind of friendly tone, but at the same time, cut you super deep in a way that's like, okay, yeah, whatever you say, but I'm still the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, give in to you a little bit and try to come off friendly, but everyone kind of hears a snarky, arrogant, superiority kind of attitude underlying. Does that make sense? Okay, super dramatic. Next thing. Leo is so dramatic. Like, oh my gosh. They will exaggerate anything. And this is why these people are surrounded with drama. Because they create it. They will turn something very small into something huge. Or they may turn nothing at all into something huge. Because any little bit of disrespect is such a ego dagger that they cannot handle it. I mean, they will just like, what did you say to me? They can't take any little bit of criticism. So imagine a little bit of attitude in your tone or sarcasm. I mean, they really just like, how dare you? So they're surrounded by drama. They may gossip because they turn all these little nothings into something. And it's partly because they're so sensitive. And this goes into this ego thing. Their egos are so sensitive that they may start shit with others. They will finish that shit with others. They go into attack mode like a lion. Okay? I'm majestic, graceful sometimes. It's all about me. But if you try me, I'm coming in fierce. I'm coming out for blood. You know? So watch it. You watch it. So dramatic. It's like their life is seriously a movie, and they're like the movie stars of the zodiac, right? And they want all this constant attention. So if there's nothing going on and they're feeling bored or they're not getting enough praise or whatever, they create these situations like, can you believe she said that to me? I know. And it turns into this big old thing, and everyone's like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that to you. I know. And think of the fulfillment of the ego that they get in those moments. When everyone should really be like, kind of not a big deal, Leo. You should kind of just get over that because you're a little bit butthurt. Okay, and it's sad to witness. A little bit pathetic. Moving on. Anger, okay? Temper tantrums. And I mentioned this before a tiny bit. The sulking, the passivity, but I'm talking anger now, where something in them, I guess it's the fire, in the fire sign aspect and the sun, that is just, I mean, 0 to 60 if you put them in that place. And it's like, this is when the lion sticks out their chest, you know, like, you don't want to see me when I'm angry type, you know, like this like, I'm calm and cool and collected most of the time, but like, you don't even know when I get upset. Like, that's things that they'll say. Or like, that's so upsetting to me. And like, rager. I'm not gonna perform it for you guys because I'm sure you already know how it can go, but 0 to 60. Very scary. Okay, the amount of anger and rage and how loud they can get, it's seriously like a lion's roar when they're angry. Okay, so demanding. This is another thing with the anger. They can lash out because they're not getting their way, and you have to do things for them, and you need to help them, and you need to support them, and all of these things. And partly is because they love so much and they are loyal. Some people say they're loyal. I'll get into that in a few minutes. But they feel like they love everyone so hard around them that when they're not getting constant attention, or feeling like their ego is getting stroked, or their lion head is being pet, yeah, they get super demanding. Or maybe they might even back off because they're not getting what they need from you, and they might go find it from someone else. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But they are dogmatic, okay? And this is kind of what I mentioned before, where they will hold on to beliefs even when they're wrong. Which means they may not say sorry. They have all this pride, right? But they're the dogma, where they just hold on to any little belief or opinion, even when it's wrong. Even when they know it's wrong, they will just cling to it because of their pride. Okay, so not only will they not apologize, I mean, if they do, it's rare. But they're not ever gonna say like, yeah, that person was right and I was wrong. Very rarely. Maybe if they're super mature, Leo, but especially earlier on in life, not saying sorry, not admitting you were right, never admitting I was wrong. They want to be the best, right? They want to be the brightest. They want to be the star in the room. They want all the attention. They want all the eyes on them. They want to be the most beautiful. And so they need to be the center of attention, like the sun. And they have this way of just making everything about them. Like when you're in conversation with them, you know, these are like the one-uppers. They're the ones who will be like, oh, that happened to me, except mine was way worse. And they'll go into this huge scenario that may not even be relative at all to what you were talking about. But they just picked up on what you were saying, and it reminded them of something about them. And they're like, oh yeah, I need to mention that. It's not because they think it's helpful to you. It's because they want to talk about themselves, and they want to mention also they've been through much worse than you, okay? They want to look like they're better than you in some way. They may interrupt you in speaking also, and I know because I do this. Guilty as charged. They will interrupt you when you're speaking because it's not because they want to be a jerk, but it's just like, oh, I thought of something so important I have to say it right now. I do this, and then I go, okay, now you can finish with what you were saying. And I know it's so rude, but in the moment, I don't think of it. I don't even realize like, oh, I'm gonna interrupt someone right now. I just think of something, it's like, oh, I don't want to forget this. And to me, it seems so important, when in reality, after I say it, I'm like, that wasn't even important to say. Like, I shouldn't have even done that. But right before it happens, it doesn't matter. Like, I need to say this right now. Yeah, I just had to say that, so you can continue now, whatever you're saying. Super fragile ego. Super-cala fragile ego. Expialidocious. Okay, they need attention, praise, adoration. Constantly. Or this may start to affect them and come out as low self-esteem. And they're not ones to just sit and lack and feeling depressed about themselves or low self-esteem. They will go out and find it wherever. At work, on the internet, with friends. Any little boost of ego, they will find it. But the super fragile ego, if you want to sing that song, you can. It's really fun. they take things so personally, just so easily upset and hurt. And this is because they're overly sensitive, but it's like if you give them any littlest hint of attitude, of disrespect, any little snarksons, no, they're gonna make it into something huge. Their ego can't take it. It's just too much pride. Okay? And also, they will take revenge. They will plot how to get revenge. They will think about things later in their mind, about things they should have said or done, or how they should have responded. And they will have their revenge. Okay? They will say really harsh and harmful things to hurt you when they're hurt. When their ego is hurt, you better watch out. And that's what I'm talking about. That 0 to 60, you don't want to be there for that. You don't want to do it. Okay? Next topic. This is what I was saying before. I know everyone says they're loyal, right? Oh, Leo, they're so loyal. Let's be real. They may be loyal once they reach a certain self-love, worthiness within themselves of maturity level, okay? But until that point, they're still needing that attention from everyone, okay? So when their needs aren't met, and their constant need is to be desired and wanted and loved by the people around them, the relationships, what have you, they will go out and get that. Seek temporary gratification by any means necessary. And so the way that Leo can combat this is to just be honest with the person you're with or the people in your lives. Like, this is what I need. This is the attention that I need, or whatever, to avoid those kind of issues, because that ruins everything. And then you're going through the same relationships over and over, never fully fulfilled, because you can't just say these are my needs. And you just have an open conversation. They will reach like new lows in order to get attention. So things that you wouldn't expect them to do, they may do. Things that aren't ethical or moral, things that are silly. I mean, nothing that would hurt their pride, of course. But and Leo has this thing where it's like they just don't want to change. They're just unwilling to change. I guess it's because they think so highly of themselves, but it's really kind of curious because they really have kind of low self-esteem, and that's why they're constantly looking for people to praise them and give them some newfound confidence. And it's really confusing, isn't it? Sometimes they're super cocky and conceited, but like, is that just a front, or do they really think that? I think they really think that. They really think highly of themselves, and then they're like bipolar, and the next minute they're super sulky and need love and is clingy. That's why it's confusing. It's like they have to be the center of attention, but when you're mature and you know who you are, you don't need that. But more mature, evolved Leo, they will be more conscious of who they are and how they come off. They will be way more loving and loyal, and when they're with someone long term and they really love them and their needs are being met, it can be really loyal and just really trustworthy and a great person to have around. Also intelligent, also confident, and just generous and fun. Side note, all Leos are still going to be stubborn and headstrong in some way or another, and they can be difficult to be around because of this. They just make things more difficult, and then the drama plays in. And the exaggeration plays in, and the selfishness, self-centeredness plays in, and the pride. They can be, because they're more outgoing and they want to be the center of attention, and they kind of like to maybe shock people in order to get attention. They will somehow be involved in like other people's secrets, and they like gossip. So they like to know everything that's going on, and they will get really mad if they know you're keeping a secret. They need to know that secret, but they might keep some secrets from you. Okay, so not only are they involved maybe with other people's secrets, but they have, like, they know things about others, but they will have ways where, like, they went and did something with this one friend, or they have this conversation with another friend. So they have other relationships where they have secrets between them. They like secrets. Okay, because they are overly sensitive and they crave love, and they're fiery and passionate and sexual, they thrive on emotional and physical love and affection. They can believe that the relationship is way more intimate than what it really is, or they can feel like the emotional connection is more strong than what it is in actuality, because they feel and love so strong and deeply and hard. They can attach to things very quickly. Even if it's not reciprocated, they can read that situation wrong. Pride is not just about the ego. They're really proud of who they are as a person, and this plays into that not wanting to change, not thinking they should change, not seeing even why they would want to change, especially not for another person, because they just love who they are, or they're proud of what they've done and who they are. So they think, like, if there is anything wrong with them, which they would never admit to, but if there is any little thing wrong, it's like, well, I'm not changing for anybody. I'm amazing. I'm the sun. Why should I? So on a bad day, Leo can pull away from everyone. If they're hurt, if their needs aren't being met, Leo will pull away and just go cold on everybody. And this can also come out in aggression on a bad day, or super irritable, snappy. They will take on this more of a me against the world type attitude when they're feeling hurt or neglected emotionally, which can be easy for them, right? Because they just need so much attention. So, as well as Leo speaks with authority and they want to be the boss and all this stuff, it's easy to understand that they can have issues with authority. They don't want anyone telling them what to do, to the extent that they may laugh, not take it seriously at all, to authority figures, parents, you know, like they get hit with the belt and they're laughing at their parents. It's like they really just think they're the shit. It's like, I'm invincible. You can't do anything to me. But when you're older and you're like getting thrown in jail, or like, you know, starting shit with cops, that's not cute. Okay, so let's talk about money for a minute. Leo like nice things, right? They can be materialistic. They spend money that they don't have to impress others, but not like, look at what I have type thing. It's more like maybe spending money on a big group to go out somewhere, you know, to make it seem like, oh, I got this, don't worry. But like they really don't have that money. You know what I'm saying? Or like to splurge on a gift for their loved ones. They are so generous, and they do have a huge heart in their giving. So I can see why they would want to just please the one they're with. But it's not so great because they will spend the money even if they don't have it, just to, you know, make their partner happy, or they're just very generous, but sometimes it can hurt them with money. And so when you get closer to a Leo, you may find, even though they're strong and they're confident and sometimes cocky and arrogant and look at themselves too much in the mirror, they can be clingy and needy, because they're always needing that like ego stroke, or you to say like, oh, thank you so much, you did so great today, oh, thanks for all your help, you're just an amazing person. They have to have that. So deep down, Leo is just a big teddy bear, and they can roar like a lion, but it's just because there's a little soft teddy bear inside. And the clinginess and the neediness and the pouting and all of that That's like the softer side that you may rarely see if they don't have too much pride. But that's just them like really saying like, look, I need more attention from you. Also, a Leo who is in love, I want to mention this. A Leo who is in love with their needs being met, because I talked about the cheating and stuff, and I don't want anyone to think like Leos will cheat on you, that's just what they all do. When a Leo is in love and their needs are being met, they will do anything for their partner. They will do anything, go above and beyond to please their partner and to keep that dynamic of a happy relationship. So, Leos go best with other fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius. They also go well with Libra and sometimes Gemini. I can't really see that, but I hear that that's a good thing. I do know several Gemini Leo couples, so I guess it's doable. I just think if you're fire, you need to be with fire, or fire should be with water, because it's so passionate and the emotion needs to be there, and air signs can just not give you that. Anyways, Leo should not be with a Taurus or a Scorpio, and this is because they're fixed signs and they're just as stubborn and they will bump heads. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed doing it. I had so much fun. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Yeah, I just had to say that, so you can continue now, whatever you're saying. But the super